Recently, I started offering drone mapping as part of my drone services, using my Air2S and Dronelink as my mission planner to conduct my autonomous flights, and it's a great app. However, it only handles the flight portion of drone mapping, so I needed to find software to process all the wonderful high-res pictures my Air2S captures during these missions. I looked into several different options and ultimately settled on one, WebODM. So let's take a look at the software, how and where to get it, and how I use it. Hey, welcome back everyone, it's Joe from Ghost1917. WebODM offered everything I needed to get started with creating orthomosaics and digital twins for a very affordable cost of $0. Now it's only $0 for those of you who are comfortable with a little bit of command line work. But honestly, if you follow the steps in the link below, I think anyone can do it. But for those of you who would prefer saving time and not be bothered with the command line work, the creators of WebODM created a nice little install package which you can purchase for a one-time fee of $64 for the Windows version and $99 for the Mac version at the time of this video. I installed mine on my Mac Studio, and to do this I first needed to install Docker, which is a free program that allows other software to run inside a container. Basically, it takes raw programs and provides all the necessary operating files for the program to run. We don't need to get bogged down in the technical minutia. All we need to know is we need Docker to run WebODM on our Mac. I'll leave a link in the description below to Docker Desktop. Once you have installed Docker, it simply runs in the background while you're using WebODM. I'm not going to go into the installation process for WebODM as it's quite lengthy and needs its own video. I will go into the basic functionality of WebODM and how I use it to process my orthos. The first thing we need to do is start Docker, which you can X out of once it's up and running. The next thing we need to do is log into WebODM at localhost:8000. I'll leave a link in the description below for the URL to log into WebODM. Your interface is going to look a little different as WebODM allows for you to brand your interface. So initially it will say WebODM in the upper left hand corner and the colors will be blue. I changed mine to my brand logo and colors. When you log into WebODM for the first time, WebODM will prompt you for a username and password. Once you're logged in, the next step is to click on Add Project. Then name your project. We'll call this one YouTube Demo. And then Create Project. The next step is click on Select Images and GCP. WebODM allows you to import both images and ground control points. But for this demonstration, we're just going to enter images and not the ground control points. So you then navigate to the files that you're going to import. In this case, I have it underneath my orthomosaic folder. For each construction job that I do, I have 5 folders because there are 5 different flights that I run. One of which is the orthomosaic, which is what I use WebODM for. So you scroll down and click all your photos and then open, and then a dialog window will pop up and it will show you where those photos were taken on a map. Make sure you have the right area. You can rename it if you want at this point. I usually just leave it however it defaults to, which is the date that it was captured and the location. The next thing you want to do is drop down the options menu. It defaults to the last one that you did. In my case, it's custom, but you can choose any one of the defaults that WebODM has created for you, or you can create your own options. I have created an options preset for construction. At the end of the video, I'll go into more detail on how you can create your default presets. If you click on the edit bar next to the options bar, it will show you all the different options that you can change. In my case, like I said, I've got the presets already set. Hopefully on the screen, there'll be a pop-up showing you the presets that I change for my construction videos to get the optimum resolution for my orthomosaic and 3D modeling. Once you're satisfied with the options, you then click Review, And at that point, it will show you the different options that you chose for this map. You'll see we did an auto boundary, dem resolution, a digital surface model, a digital terrain model, and the ortho resolution, PC quality, and rolling shutter. When you're flying the Air 2S, because the Air 2S has a digital shutter and not a mechanical shutter, we need to true the rolling shutter value so that it compensates for the digital shutter that the Air 2S has. Once you're satisfied that your options are what you want, you then click on Start. You'll then see on the progress bar, this portion doesn't take very long. Once the uploading is completed, the next thing you'll see is the sending images to processing node. And again, this portion doesn't take very long. Once that's completed, the processing begins. This portion takes some time. This was a 5-acre site shot at 100 feet, which generated 269 photos. I sped this up for you, but you can see by the processing time clock that this took just over 1 hour and 23 minutes. Depending on the computer you're using, this could take longer or shorter. You'll also notice the average GSD on this finished map was 0.87 centimeters. The GSD is the ground surface distance, which is the distance between 2 pixels in the image that you created. I like to keep this GSD value under 1 centimeter. Once your map has been created, you simply click on View Map and your 2D map is shown. If you zoom in, you can see the difference in resolution between your WebODM generated map and the Google Earth map. You can actually see the cracks in the asphalt on the helipad. You'll also notice that the helipad lines don't line up perfectly, and that's because I flew this with the Air 2S without ground control points or RTK. Overall, I think the quality of the image that WebODM generates is fantastic. In addition to the 2D ortho map that WebODM creates, you will also have a digital surface model as well as a digital terrain model, and of course a 3D model. You could download all of these assets individually or as an entire zip package. Simply click on the Download Assets tab and choose which asset you want to download. You're also able to create stockpile measurements in WebODM. It's a simple process. You simply zoom into the stockpile that you want to measure, click on the little measure icon, click on Create a New Measurement, and then I like to zoom in just a little bit more so that I can get an accurate outline of the stockpile I'm attempting to measure, and then just start drawing around the stockpile. You don't have to be perfect, but the closer you are to the edge of the stockpile, the more accurate your measurement will be. And just keep clicking around until all of the area that you want to measure is shaded. You don't have to close the dots. WebODM will do that for you when you go over to the dialog window here and click Finish Measurement. You'll then get a little computing dialog window, and then it will give you the volume of the stockpile that you're measuring. In this case, it was 19.664 cubic yards. Now, I know that this pile of gravel that was dropped off was 20 cubic yards of gravel. So 19.664 cubic yards measuring through WebODM was pretty accurate. If the dialog window comes up in a spot that you don't want it to, you can either click on the little X to exit out and then choose where you want the pointer from the dialog window to appear and click, and that will move the dialog window around for you so it's not covering the actual stockpile. You can then either export the measurement as a GeoJSON file, or what I like to do is I just do a screenshot of the measurement and provide that to my client. You're able to do multiple stockpile measurements at the same time. Just click on the little measurement icon again, create a new measurement, and begin outlining the next stockpile that you want to measure. Then again, finish measurement. And then it computed that to 2.9299 cubic yards. And I know that that was a 3 cubic yard drop. So again, fairly accurate. And to move this dialog window so that it's not covering the stockpile that you performed the measurement on, just close it and re-click, and that moves the dialog window again. When you want this measurement, again, just click on it and it will give you the measurement. Tip number 1, how to create your options preset. Click on the Administration tab, the Application tab, Presets, and then Add Preset. Choose your owner. In this case, I'm going to choose myself. Name the preset. We'll call this YouTube Demo. And in the options box, you're going to type in all of the options that you want. I found the easiest way to do this is to cut and paste from other presets. If you go into one of the other presets, you will see the coding for the options. Simply copy and paste the ones that you want into your preset. And then click the Save button. Now when you go back in to choose a preset, your preset will be there as one of your choices. Bonus tip number 2, how to brand WebODM for clients accessing your web instance of WebODM. Click on Administration, Brand. The app name is what appears in the upper left-hand corner, as well as the organization name. You can upload your business logo to appear in the left next to your business name, and you could add in your organization or business website. When you've completed this, hit the Save button and your version of WebODM will be customized. As always, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comment section below if you use WebODM for your photogrammetry processing, and if you do, how you like it. And while you're down there, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.